JB, did it start or no? All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network, live, woodwardsports.com. Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate, as always, thank you guys for joining us. JB, thank you for getting everything ready and going. It's going to be a fun show today. It's Friday. The weather's pretty decent, 32 degrees right now. Hopefully it gets warmer, but
hopefully.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the weather.
Yeah,
I actually don't.
It's been up and down, and that's partially why I was a little under the weather yesterday. Got a chance to watch the Spartans, but besides that, I was
anything
in my
above
bed.
30 degrees, I can wear short sleeves. Anything above 40, I typically slightly roll down my windows. Anything over 50, it's full shorts and windows down.
That's
like
how we
it's the
operate.
Middle of summer.
And then there's Lucas in the back, who's from Ohio, built different, and it's 25 degrees out, and he's wearing shorts.
Yeah, but he shows up to work in pants, so that doesn't count.
I don't
He's still
understand
a
those
bitch
people
because he's not walking across Woodward in shorts. He's in pants, and he takes them off when he gets to work.
The
It's
people
weird.
that wear shorts in cold weather, there's always somebody like that. Lucas here at Woodward is that guy. But he's from Ohio.
Fair enough.
It's
Well,
built
look,
different.
today, unfortunately, we have to talk about Michigan State getting bounced out of the tournament because of a record-breaking performance by Noel in Kansas State. 19 assists. The kid was unbelievable. Towards the end of the game in overtime, I mean, Michigan State, really, I can't say enough good things about how they played. Heartbreaking loss. But I think they should be really proud of what they did, what they accomplished. This is why they schedule as difficult as they do, because it does get them ready for games like this. And I thought they were fully capable. They were ready. They forced overtime. They did a hell of a job midway into the second half, coming back from 9, ended up forcing overtime, hit some big shots. Tyson Walker, Joey Hauser had a game. It was nice, man. It was a good watch. I enjoyed the game. Feeling for Michigan State this morning, but you know what? They're going to get sent home. Gonzaga almost choked away another game to UCLA. Found a way to win in the end. So, college basketball last night was actually pretty good.
By the way, Drew Timme for Gonzaga, he's probably the best.
Well, he's also 32 years old.
Well, I was going to say that the best collegiate player that will never translate to the pros. I mean, he was doing this last year in the NCAA.
I saw John Kaminsky show up and no, Frank Kaminsky. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Frank Kaminsky at what, Indiana or Wisconsin? I don't know which school,
but you watch him, his mustache. He's got the swagger. And then you watch obviously State last night, Marquise Noel. I mean, he's 5'8". Dude's got heart. And it's not even just State. He's been doing this to teams all year. He's had double-digit assists 10 plus times. I love watching guys like that where you're 5'8", 5'9", and you go against some of the best teams in college basketball, and he played well. I mean, he made, again, Michigan State, I think, turnovers, and Kansas State making tough shots down the stretch. That was really the deciding factor. And Tom Izzo kind of talked about that after the game. It's like, hey, they made some tough shots. We turned the ball over. Things just didn't go their way. So, again, credit to Michigan State. I still think for how their season panned out to get to where they were now in the Sweet 16 deserves praise. But Kansas State, man, they've been good all year. I mean, they've been doing this to other teams. So,
well, they've been good all year, but they've been shit the last 3 years. They fired their coach. This is the first season for their coach in charge. They went from dead last in the Big 12 to first this year. What a turnaround for Kansas State to get where they're at, an Elite 8 appearance, year one under this head coach. It's nothing
impressive.
short of impressive. So, shout out to them. It's going to be a fun show today. Alabama, their pro day was held yesterday. Bryce Young delivered. We got to see Will Anderson. Had to see Brad Holmes in attendance. Lion Scouts in attendance. That'll be fun to talk about at 8:15. 8:30, we'll rank the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC. And Good Morning Football on the NFL Network did this. And Goff only showed up in the top 3 once. I have a big problem with that. I'll tell you who was ahead of him. 8:30, 8:45. Jalen Carter, more and more likely going to fall to the Detroit Lions. He will be there at 6. The question this morning is, do you pass on him? Or do you draft him? I want to know what you guys think. At 9 o'clock, are the Detroit Lions quietly, or not so quietly, pursuing Ed Oliver? What does that mean for their draft? If they do pursue him, will they re-sign DJ Chark? So much to get into about still pending business and free agency. We'll get to some news around the NFL. We'll get to the Pistons. We'll get to the Red Wings a little later. It'll be a fun show. What I do want to start with is I am dead. This is the second day. Last night was the first official night. I woke up, had to eat super late. I ate a date, drank like 3 bottles of water.
Middle of the night date.
Dude, awful. And I've been getting these awful headaches because I'm not drinking caffeine in the morning. So last night, literally at 11:30 at night, I took down a whole large cup of coffee. And then somehow managed to fall asleep before 12:30, wake back up at 2:30, put something in my mouth, wake up again at like 5 o'clock. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's...
If I last 30 days this year with my work schedule, I'd be impressed.
I feel like I remember last year, too, you going through this.
Yeah, it's complicated, though, right? I mean, work schedules change every year for us, right?
Right.
But, yeah, what are you going to do? It's all good. I'm having fun, though. I'll go down to the festival this weekend. I'm taking Justin, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go down there, shoot some footage, meet some people, try some food. Should be fun.
Nice.
I'm not much of a public guy, but fuck it, right?
I do.
He asked me to come, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Justin will have a blast down there.
You got to come down with me, though. Maybe Saturday night.
Okay.
If I don't go Friday, you should come with me and Justin.
All right.
Be fun.
If I'm alive, I will.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine, dude. You can make it. You can make it up throughout the year. Yeah, but that's not the same, man. It's not the same. It's not the same. Offer it up, Adam. There's reasons to do it. Nah. But it does get a lot easier. After the first 3, 4, 5 days, it gets so much easier. Like, you kind of just get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no coffee? Cool. The headaches are gone. Probably 4 or 5 days in. Oh, no more food? I can live without it. So it's not that bad. It does suck, though, the first week. Fucking awful.
I can't imagine. Booner says if he's not in Royal Oak Saturday night. I'm not. This is false narratives.
Look, Booner, honestly, I don't know
false
with Jeff
narratives.
anymore. Jeff has just been releasing some built-up fantasies and taking them out on all these poor girls in Michigan.
That is a lie.
All right, fine, dudes. Is that a lie?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Oh, man. Hey, Adam, a Michigan wrestler won at the... Yeah, I know. I did. I saw that yesterday. We did shout him out on the show. Fasting clears your mind. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to clear your mind and kind of cleanse yourself. This is one of the ways. Jeff's hair is transparent today. What do you think of your hair? It's almost there, buddy.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I like the quarter zip, by the way.
Thank you. I know it's not probably the right time to wear a Pistons quarter zip, but I like it. I do. Hair's coming in. It is what it is.
This is the shit problem with the NBA. Is you can't even be excited as a Pistons fan about sucking balls because the lottery will dictate where you draft.
Suck balls as
so
always.
You can
How do you
still
not?
easily fall back to 2, 3, 4, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even though you sucked deservingly so all year, the NBA draft lottery will be there to fuck you right in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor Wembanyama, you can say bye-bye to that. It's just how it's going to play out. I would be very shocked if the Pistons ended up with the number 1 pick.
That would be like typical Detroit fashion. You're the worst team in the NBA, and you get to the lottery, and you get like the 4th pick. Like that's like the year they got Cade. That was an anomaly, and that's why everyone was so excited because you had the first selection. You got to get your franchise player, but something just tells me it just won't happen. It's too good to be true to land Victor Wembanyama. That's why I'm already preparing for Brandon Miller, getting those other guys. Because if you get Victor, great. If not, if you don't expect it, you can't be disappointed.
It's so stupid. I still think the draft lottery is a joke, just like the NHL draft lottery. I think it should be done the NFL way, but again, the NFL is only 17 games, right? For a team to go 82 games, you don't want to reward them for sucking. I get it. The 76ers had a big influence on that, but again, Kate Cunningham wouldn't be in Detroit if it wasn't for the draft lottery, right? So you win some, you lose some. Who knows?
Kevin says too many games, not enough good teams. Games don't matter,
It's
and
a
why
garbage
football doesn't
product,
right is because
man.
every game matters. I mean,
I think the NBA is a garbage product. It's shit.
The
I actually enjoy, honestly, watching more off-script baseball games than any of these TNT or ESPN games that they show late at night.
But I think the regular season is significantly devalued.
It's horrible.
The playoffs are
Every
still entertaining.
night,
But
somebody's down 27 and comes back.
Playoffs.
Like, where the fuck is the defense? Where's the energy? I got nothing. I hate the NBA. I really do. I think it's garbage in the regular season. I think it's garbage in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. It only gets good in the conference semi and conference finals. And then, of course, you have the NBA finals. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Jeff.
Especially with load management, it's kind of devalued the regular season. Like, guys taking days off.
Load management. Dude, Scottie Pippen was fucking his wife 4 times a night, playing 70-plus games a year. You guys see that shit? I mean, come on.
No, I did not see that.
Dude,
what?
She came out and talked about their whole life for 23 years, married, and how she got pounded 4 times a night. Like she was proud of it. If my wife asked me to pound her 4 times a night, I would be in a wheelchair. My knees couldn't hold up. How did he play 70 games? And then we have all these NBA players now with more nutrition, more doctors, more private charter. Everything is so much easier, and they can't even play 60 games. And they're not even pounding 4 times a night, to my knowledge. What are we doing here?
I just found the quote. Jesus.
I'm telling you, I wasn't joking.
She said, I was married for 23 years.
Yep.
I've always had sex like 4 times a night.
Yes.
So 3 times a week is nothing. I had sex 4 times a night every night. I never had a day off in 23 years.
Dude, how used is she?
Yeah.
She was putting in overtime.
And
now she's dating Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah.
Like, what's even down there anymore? It's just fucking meat. 4 times for 23 years? That's more than you, Jeff, and I will have sex in our entire lifetime.
Yeah, 4 times a night for 23 years. I mean, that's...
If I'm in the mood, maybe 4 times a week. But Jesus Christ. 4 times a day.
Juice's Ghost says it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Dude, that's not a hot dog. We're talking about Scottie Pippen, too. I mean, there's levels to this shit, right? God,
yeah.
She was like getting a 2x4 stuck in your ass 4 times a night. That's not fun.
That's like Wilt Chamberlain numbers. That's absurd.
Anyways, interesting start to the show.
Jeez.
Sorry about that.
I did not know that. Now I'm like, you threw me off.
I don't know. I read weird shit. My Twitter feed is so messed up. Twitter feed, by the way, Elon, help me. My For You page is the most random stuff all the time now. It's not even like what I like or my interests are anymore. And I know there's a For You, but like, help me. Help me. I don't want to wake up and hear about some midget that's actually an adult that 2 parents thought it was an adopted son banging the mother. Like, what are we doing? Why do I want to? I don't want to know that. I don't want to see some dude wearing all makeup and shit talking about how parents have no control over their kids. Like, what the fuck am I listening to? Why is this on my feed? Some weird shit going on, man.
Yeah, you got some weird stuff on your Twitter feed.
Dude.
You've brought that up before. I don't know why or what Elon and how does that work.
I don't know, man.
But you showed me something like last week, too.
Dude, last week on a Wednesday, I woke up 7:30 in the morning, watched some dude get murdered at work. Why? This isn't, like, I want to open up my Twitter in the morning and see whatever I missed last night in sports. I don't want to see people getting murdered.
Detroit Dabber says, it's for you, your algorithm, bro.
Maybe I'm fucked up. You know what? Honestly, I probably have to take responsibility for that.
Yeah, maybe you're just...
Because I do watch them. It's not like I don't. I'm not gonna lie.
They're there. You check them out.
They're there. I'm interested.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes more sense. But here we are. Let's take a break. When we get back, Jeff and I will talk about Alabama's pro day. Brad Holmes in attendance. Bryce Young absolutely delivering. Nick Saban had raving reviews and amazing things to say about the young quarterback whose height and size has been called into question. Will he go number 1 overall? Who knows? We'll get to that next. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you can pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 Mr. Beer Machine, full bar. Check it all out, fullingwarehouse.com.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate. Alabama's pro day concluded yesterday. Bryce Young absolutely delivered. Jeff, your thoughts on the kid? Your thoughts on Nick Saban's comments? What'd you think of his performance? Should he go number 1 overall?
Yeah, he's incredible. And he was my number 1 quarterback for quite some time now. I've said it for a while. If you're going to take a quarterback, for me personally, it's either Bryce or C.J. Stroud. That was before the Panthers traded up. So that likelihood of getting either of those guys is slim to none. Bryce Young, to me, though, besides his height and weight, like if he was 6'3", there is no debate he's the number 1 overall pick. But there's questions, right? He's 5'10 and a half. He's about $195. Even though he looked a little heavier at his pro day, everything we thought about Bryce Young in terms of playing the quarterback position, all that stuff was just reassured. I mean, he threw 50 passes, completed 44 of them. I believe the only couple he dropped were drops by who he was throwing to. Brad Holmes was there. Obviously, I don't think to just watch Bryce. There was Will Anderson. There was a couple of Alabama players. But there was a lot of scouts there, including the Panthers, checking out Bryce Young. And Steve Smith was also there, former Panther, and he had nothing but great things to say about Bryce Young. And the things he highlighted is, I think, a very common thing that people think about Bryce Young. For example, he said timing, accuracy, processing, mobility. Those 4 things, I think, perfectly summarize what Bryce Young brings to the table. Right, with CJ's, he's your prototypical pocket passer. We talk about him making the most NFL throws. Bryce Young, with his mobility, throwing on the run, his accuracy, in his career at Alabama, he's got like 80 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, extremely accurate. Even in a year where, you lose Jameson, you lose John Mechie, and you lose some of those receivers that, helped them go to the Natty the previous year, he still comes out and plays extremely well. So I didn't really learn anything new about Bryce. He was, I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. I still believe he's the best quarterback in the draft. But you got to be realistic here. If you're the Panthers and you're taking a quarterback number 1 overall, there has never been a quarterback taken that's Bryce Young's height and weight. You can say Kyler Murray, but Kyler Murray was 210, 215 when he came out. Bryce Young's about $195. He looked a little bigger, but still, even if he's 200 pounds, 5'10 and a half, it's never been a quarterback taken at that size. So I just don't think it will happen. But when I watched the pro day, I went back and watched every throw. I didn't learn anything new. The kid's a stud. And in my opinion, if you're talking over him or C.J. Stroud, I'm going for Bryce Young. Because, again, the IQ, the processing, what he can do. I think he had the highest completion percentage for throws across the middle, which, if you look at things that will translate in the NFL, that's a big one. So, didn't learn anything new. I think a lot of general managers and scouts were even more impressed seeing Bryce. But, again, it's really his stature. Looked a little bigger at his pro day, but still, I think teams are going to be scared most about his size.
Of course
but
they
he's
are.
Going number 2 overall.
And I think rightfully so. I think rightfully so they should be concerned. Why would you not be concerned? That's not a knock on him. It's just part of the reality, man. Hey, this concerns me. Not everybody is perfect, and typically the perfect prospects never work out. I don't know many perfect prospects that have worked in my life. I was told Jamarcus Russell when I was a kid was a, quote, perfect process. Specimen, does it all. Sam Bradford had all the tools. Like, you just... At the end of the day, Kyler Murray really makes me nervous for Bryce Young. But what I can say 100% no doubt, I can go to sleep at night knowing Bryce Young is going to be giving me everything on and off the field. I can't say the same about Kyler Murray. Because when I'm sleeping, he's in a war zone party queue. You know what Bryce Young was doing at Alabama all season long? When the team would fly back on Sunday, they'd get ready for school the next day. He would study and watch the film before the coaches would. So when Monday came, he was prepared, asking questions, suggestions, what they should do, what they can do better. And you got to say, Alabama recently, they've put out some quarterbacks in the NFL. Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts. He transferred, obviously, to Oklahoma after he got benched. But they've been playing a pro-style offense recently that does translate to the NFL. He was productive, only 12 interceptions, high completion percentage, doesn't turn the ball over often. In a year where Alabama's offense was really filled with a bunch of nobodies outside of Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, this wasn't him throwing to Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. It just wasn't.
Jermaine Burton was his guy.
And he actually played really well. So there's a lot to like about Bryce Young. I didn't learn anything new from the pro day. At the end of the day, can he stay healthy? That's always going to be the question. The quarterback I think of is Drew Brees. Drew Brees started his career undersized, hurt all the time, finally moved to the right situation in New Orleans, got with Sean Payton, the rest is history. It can work in the NFL. And if I were to bank on a quarterback with the character, with the intangibles, with the body of work, and also I have Nick Saban telling me this is the kid. Yeah, I'd feel good about it. Whether he goes 1 or 2, I don't give a shit.
No.
It's up to Carolina. They make that decision at the end of the day. All I know is Bryce Young will not make it past 2.
Yeah.
Levis, Richardson, no chance they go ahead of him. I don't see Stroud going 1 and then suddenly Houston saying, oh my God, our guy's off the board. I just don't see it. To me, it's Bryce Young 100%.
And it depends how you're evaluating it. Like, if you're the Panthers and you're Frank Reich and you're looking at both quarterbacks, if you look at Bryce and his ability to show up when it matters most, he's consistently done that. You could bring up on the road to Auburn in the national championship game, trying to keep Alabama in that game without Jameson or John Mechie. Like, Bryce Young has that it factor. But physically is where you have the question marks. CJ, you don't have any question marks physically. Now, you talk about him against Michigan, losing both games. The game he had against Georgia really ultimately stamped him as a top 2 pick. So, again, it's really pick your flavor. I like both quarterbacks. I just don't believe a team like Carolina, you trade up all those assets to number 1. As good as Bryce Young is, I just don't think you're taking him worrying about his size and weight, because can he hold up for 17 games? That's a big question. Although he's the most talented, I believe, you'd probably lean for more towards a guy like CJ, who's 6'3", 215, who kind of checks those boxes. Although I don't agree with it, it's just how the NFL works. Like, I can understand why CJ Stroud would go number 1 overall, although I think Bryce is better. I mean, if you're Carolina, it's a risk. And if you're Houston, you're sitting there at 2, like, hey, I'll take either of these guys. So Houston's in a great situation. So it's really up to Carolina. It was nice to see Frank Reich. He was at both pro days. It seems like, Josh McCown, if you saw the comments to CJ Stroud, we'll play horse when you get to Carolina. I don't know what that means, but it's going to be between these 2 guys. Personally, I would go Bryce, but I understand if they're going to lean CJ Stroud. I really do. I can't be mad.
All right, fair enough. By the way, speaking of obnoxious / really weird Twitter feeds, the fake Trump running from the police pictures, you guys see those or no?
No. What?
Oh my God, you guys are missing out. Basically, somebody photoshopped Trump avoiding getting arrested, which I find hilarious. And what I find even more hilarious is that people actually think he's going to get arrested. That's a whole different thing. This country is funny as hell right now. By the way, not to get political on everybody, but if there's one thing we could all do that would make this country immediately better, it's stop giving a fuck what side you're on. It's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. We're so stupid in this country. We're like little fucking sheep. Oh my God, I gotta vote Democrat. I gotta vote Republican because that's what I believe in, even though I don't know why I'm voting. Fucking uneducated people, man.
It's the blue pill.
If Trump gets arrested, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George Bush, in my lifetime all need to be arrested. How about that? If Trump gets arrested, all of them should be arrested too. And all of them did something he didn't do, which is commit war crimes. But we don't talk about that. Fuck it. Right? Because we all made money. And gas was low. Right? And the economy was booming. All right? Yeah. Woo! Go team. And then this fucking idiot takes over. We go from, what, 2.5% inflation to 13%? Fucking joke. What a fucking joke.
Get this man in office. The dictator Adham.
Dude, I'm telling you, I would murder everybody.
Okay, all right.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
Everybody
all right. I take back
corrupt
what I said.
gets whacked day one. I don't give a fuck. Day one, everybody. Everybody gets whacked.
I take back what I said. All right.
Everybody gets whacked.
I understand.
Unreal.
Jesus.
People like forget these people work for us. Fucking hell, man. Drives me nuts. You fall for the same shit every cycle. Oh, I'm gonna run on healthcare and minimum wage and all, and you don't even understand that minimum wage raising it fucks small businesses more than anybody. And you don't realize that the healthcare thing is just a bunch of bullshit that they promise you and they never deliver. Fucking joke. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. Anyways, I mean it though. I'll kill everybody.
You're preaching right now.
I'm telling you.
Except for that, don't murder.
America's never had a dictator. Why
Yes.
not? I'm just saying.
No, that's not.
I'm not saying it would end well.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm not saying I would fix everything, but
No.
I'd fix some of it. All right?
No. I want you in the Oval Office with your just smoking hookah.
I would. Hell yeah.
State of the Union address just
Hell
out
yeah.
there.
Pull a Hunter
Chilling, kicking
Biden
your
in
feet
the
up.
Oval Office.
No, why?
Dude, I saw
sick son.
somebody leaked some of that stuff on Twitter the other day. I was just laughing. It's like, how? How? The son of a well-known politician just doing crack cocaine, fucking hookers, dressing kids up. You know, I'm not even going to get into it. Anyways, moving on.
Let's. we got to move on.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
What about this top 5 quarterback list that Robert Griffin came out with? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see Robert Griffin's. What is it? Let's get to that because I'm going to show you Good Morning Footballs in the NFC, and you're going to be surprised because Goff was 5-4, 5-4 consistently. And
Well, I'll show you Robert Griffin's NFC.
I want to say outside of Cynthia Farland is how you say her last name? God, I'm botching the last name. Help me out here. Cynthia what? Freeland? No. Anybody? Any ideas?
No.
All good.
Freeland?
What are you going to do?
Cynthia Freeland?
There you go. Thank you. So I did say it right. I didn't botch it. Anyways, Goff was a rarely appeared actually. Showed up at 4-5, only once at 2, or excuse me, once at 3, and then he was excluded for some of the from
Well,
some of
there's
the
only
lists.
one right answer. And
Well, I would agree. So I want to talk about it and get an honest answer from you and the public. So we'll throw it in the chat. We'll throw a poll. We'll get to all that and more coming up next. But before we go, I need a haircut because I look like a complete grizzly bear this morning. It's not looking good over here. But Lady James will clean me up. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. They're awesome stylists. We'll get you straightened out like they do with me always. Get to a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com, 8:30. Coming up top of the hour, are the Detroit Lions pursuing Ed Oliver, or are they going to sign Bobby Wagner, or are they going to re-sign DJ Chark? A lot of free agency conversations to have coming up in the second hour, and I can't wait for it. But for now, before I get to Good Morning Football, everybody in the chat is talking about the RG3 list. Please, share it with me.
It's so bad.
Give
yeah.
me.
So
give me 1 through 5.
Okay, so I'll start 1. I'll let you guess. So 1,
Jalen Hurts.
Yes. 2.
Don't make me guess after 2 because you know what I think. So
2 is Kirk Cousins. 3 is Dak Prescott. 4 is Kyler Murray. And 5 is Geno Smith.
Wow. RG3. Yeah. Wow.
So
I wonder why. I don't even get his logic either. Because
I don't either.
If you were actually going to rank the list based off of performance and, quote, potential / talent, it would be Hurts 1, Stafford if healthy 2, Goff 3, Kyler if healthy 4.
I think Dak. I'd take Dak over Kirk.
They're both the same to me. So
I just think Dak's had better years, but still, they're. I mean, potato at that point.
RG3, what are you doing, buddy?
It doesn't really matter.
Do you not pay attention? You tell me how a guy that threw for more passing yards than most of those quarterbacks and more touchdowns than most of those quarterbacks and fewer interceptions than most of those quarterbacks is somehow behind them on the list.
You know what I took more from this list, though? How bad the NFC is with quarterbacks.
It's awful.
But, that's a great thing
It's awful. Now give me the 5 in the AFC.
Oh, it's different.
You got to go Mahomes. You got to go Burrow, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert.
But that tells you how much...
And that doesn't include Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson. That doesn't include Aaron Rodgers winning if he gets traded to the Jets. That doesn't include Tua. But all those guys would be top 5 in the NFC.
But for Lions fans, it tells you how wide open it is. I mean, your best quarterback in your conference is Jalen Hurts, and he's good. Don't get me wrong. I like Jalen Hurts, but in the AFC, he'd be like 6th, 7th.
This is the problem with opinions, okay? I'm all for everybody having their own opinion. No problem. You share your lists. No problem. But when you come out with a list and you are a professional analyst and you played the position before and you want to argue that Kirk and Dak and Geno and Kyler deserve to be ahead of Jared Goff, makes no sense to me. Statistically, it doesn't make sense.
This is bad. I got Robert Griffin. JB just sent me his AFC quarterback rankings.
Oh, God. Let's see. Wait. Let me guess.
This is even worse.
Lamar Jackson 1, right? Or Lamar Jackson 2 or 3. I know because
you're onto it.
I'm not going to. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it because I don't give a shit.
Guess for Joe.
Robert Griffin III is 1,000% putting race into this conversation, and it has no business. It has no business being a part of it. Lamar Jackson's not a top 3 quarterback in the AFC.
No, he's not.
Just like Geno Smith at 5 is unacceptable, along with Dak Prescott at fucking 3.
Yeah.
JB, am I wrong for that?
I mean, I don't know if he's putting the race ahead of this, but
how?
I wouldn't put
How could you
Lamar
statistically
in the top 30
argue
right
it?
now?
Like, let me read his AFC.
Like, that's a Kendrick Perkins take, in my opinion.
Of course. He's just going for hot takes right now.
Let me read his AFC list so you get a feel for how he's ranked. It's so bad. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. We agree there.
Okay,
There's no
fine.
argument. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3,
he's a fucking idiot.
Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Joe Burrow. And number 5, Aaron Rodgers.
Bro, okay.
So no Trevor Lawrence, no Justin Herbert.
Robert, I just want you to know, before I say what I'm about to say, when you came out as a rookie, I was all over you, man. So fun to watch. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Your first pass was a touchdown in the NFL. I remember exactly where I was for it. Your rookie year was special. Great player. I think you're a great dude. Even most of the stuff you say on TV, I kind of don't mind it, to be honest with you.
Right.
Lamar Jackson ahead of Joe Burrow, you motherfucker.
Yeah, that's awful.
Lamar's never been to the AFC Championship game. Joe Burrow started 2 seasons, been to both, and has only lost in his postseason career in the AFC side to only Patrick Mahomes, who up until then he was 4-0 against. What?
I don't get the Aaron Rodgers over Herbert Lawrence.
Aaron
I don't get
Rodgers
that.
has no business being over anybody on that list.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, my God, man. Robert, honestly, like, what the fuck, man? This is sports talk. This is supposed to be about educated, professional opinions, not I don't like what's going on with Lamar Jackson. He's not getting paid. He's better than Joe Burrow. And the fact that you even have Josh Allen ahead of Joe Burrow is already a whole different conversation that I'm not ready to have right now. But to have Jared Goff not in your top 5, fuck you. You don't even watch football then. How do you watch the NFC last year and go into this season telling me that Kyler Murray, who's coming off an ACL injury, Geno Smith, who was average this year and fell off down the stretch.
Yeah, this is what
Kirk Cousins, who was Kirk Cousins, and Dak, who sucked balls, are better than Jared.
Yeah, this is bad.
Why am I defending Jared Goff this morning? What the fuck is happening? How was he not in your top 5?
I don't think you can have an NFC top quarterback list if you're doing top 5 and not have Goff in it. I mean, Goff had a higher QBR than Geno, less interceptions, more passing yards.
You can say that about him over every quarterback on that list except Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he had one less passing touchdown than Geno. He had a better year in every other category. So doesn't make a ton of sense.
Guys, at the end of the day, all right, I like Adam Thielen as a wide receiver. I do. I think he's a good wide receiver. I had him on my bench this year in fantasy. Started him for a few games. Helped me out a ton. Shout out to Adam Thielen. But you're not going to see me sitting up here saying he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFC right now, let alone in the AFC. Huh? You don't see me going out and defending white people when they don't deserve it. What are we doing? Huh? What are we doing? Honestly. To even suggest, by the way, that Kirk Cousins should be ahead of any of those quarterbacks, let alone Jared Goff.
The Kirk one is
a whole
bad.
different problem.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I got nothing. Lamar Jackson. JB, what do you think of that? Lamar at 3. Behind Josh Allen, Mahomes, ahead of Burrow somehow. Oh, and Rodgers at 5.
Yeah, I don't know how he can even put Rodgers on this list. And the simple fact that Lamar just was kind of terrible that second half of the season, I just don't know where he's getting out of this list. As I said, I think, as you mentioned, Adam, it's a Kendrick Perkins take. He's just going for hot takes right now at this point, and honestly, trying to just drum up attention. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is for him.
And even for Geno, like I brought up Geno, how Goff had less interceptions, a higher QBR, and more passing yards. If you're going to bring up Kirk Cousins, I mean, you bring up his 14 interceptions. Like, he didn't have as good of a year as Goff did. Goff had the best year besides Hurts. So that's what's confusing. That's what's confusing.
For a system quarterback, if that's what you guys want to label Jared Goff, that is completely false. Jared Goff is not a system quarterback. He's just a good quarterback. He's not elite. He's not Allen.
Right.
He's not Burrow. He's not Trevor Lawrence, Mahomes, none of these guys. And no one's saying that. But in the NFC, yeah, he's the second best quarterback right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's coming off the second best season by a quarterback in the NFC last year.
Yep.
Only Jalen Hurts was better. 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 65% completion percentage, only 7 interceptions, tying a career low. And it is the most passes he's attempted in his career, having thrown that few interceptions.
Yeah, that's impressive.
An interception 1.2% of the time, a career low. Threw for 227 first downs, only 6 short of his career high.
Second best QBR in his entire career last season.
Almost had a passer rating over 100.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
It's a pretty good year.
Come on. Robert, bro. I was not expecting to have this conversation about Robert Griffin III, but that to me is just a joke, man.
Doug says, second best? You putting crack in that hookah these days?
You know what? Honestly, maybe I am. But last I checked, if I were to take the Detroit Lions, that's the way I'm going to look at it, right? Forget that Jared Goff has ever been in this offense, okay?
Right.
Let's just pull Jared Goff out. He's never played here. You have the offensive line, you have the running back core, the wide receivers, and the defense. Now, this is the Lions team, okay? Who would I want in order to be my quarterback going into next year? Jalen Hurts, number 1.
Yep.
Jared Goff, number 2. I would like to see Kyler Murray in this offense. To be honest, it's actually very intriguing to see Kyler, so I'd have him at 3. Number 4, it would be Kirk Cousins. Number 5, Dak Prescott. In that order. That's who I'd want to see if I had to choose out of the NFC quarterbacks next year. That's who I'd like to see in this offense. Only Jalen Hurts I'd prefer more. Jared Goff is a leader on and off the field, never gives me problems. He's been working out all summer long. I haven't heard a damn word from him. Getting rapport with his wide receivers. Coming off a 4,400, 29 touchdowns, 7 interception season. Those were as good as his numbers when he put up an MVP type season in LA.
Right.
Again, I don't want to sit here and complain about Goff for 20 minutes.
No,
but
I just would like to know, what are you basing it off of? If it's body of work, you could argue Goff compared to the other quarterbacks in the NFC
Goff's
has
had a
the
better
best
career
resume
than every quarterback in the NFC outside of Jalen Hurts.
So exactly. So is it resume or is it last year? Because both Goff, I could argue.
Favor Goff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Here, let's look at Dakota Prescott and his stats, all right? Last year threw for 2,800 yards in only, 10, 12 games he played? I forget the number.
That was rough.
23 touchdowns, solid. 15 interceptions, tied 33rd in the NFL. He threw 13 interceptions last season. He only played, 12 games. Had he played a full season, he probably would have thrown 20, 21 interceptions. His best season, he threw for 5,000 yards almost, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And his quarterback rating was almost the same as Jared Goff that year. As if these quarterbacks are miles ahead of Jared Goff. What a joke. What a joke. What an absolute joke. We'll take a break. When we get back, pissed off. I don't even want to talk about Good Morning Football anymore. Fuck it. Moving on. Jalen Carter. I want to have a conversation about Jalen Carter. I think he's going to be available. I do. Yeah. So what are you going to do, Detroit? What do you think your GM does? Well, throw up a poll in the chat. I want to know what you guys think. Jalen Carter, likely available at 6, given I'm pretty sure 3 quarterbacks going in the top 5. And I would like to imagine Will Anderson and probably Tyree Wilson are going to go.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see what Arizona does. We'll see what the Seahawks do. That's what I think. Carter available. What do you guys do? We'll get to that next. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, and right now they have an exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans for their limited edition Red Wings 6-pack, only $15 plus free shipping. Head to drinkcintron.com/Woodward and try it today. All 3 delicious Cintron flavors in one: classic sugar-free, and cranberry. That's drinkcintron.com/Woodward.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Let me tell you about our friends over at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, by the way, I got to say this because it's funny to me that because I'm realistic and I try to think of the future and what the Lions should do at the quarterback position, it means I hate Goff, which is hilarious. I just think that's hilarious, too. We bring up,
I don't know. Honestly, let's just be real, right?
Would you pay Goff 50? No. 45? No. But because I won't do that, it's like, all right, well, you hate Goff. It's like, no. Even though I can defend him all I want about him, I do believe he's the second best quarterback in the NFC. I'll die on that hill. But I'm also realistic. So I just love that. It's either you have to defend Goff till you die, or if you disagree, you hate Goff. It's black or white, which I don't agree with. But I think it's funny. I do.
All right. Well, look, here's what I want to do. Jalen Carter. To me, this is how the board shapes up. Stroud, Young, 1 and 2. The Cardinals, if they don't move out or move out a spot, let's say with Indy, I think they take Will Anderson. I think that's the surefire pick for them. Number 4, Indianapolis, probably take Will Levis.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say 5, this is where things get really interesting, is Pete Carroll loves athletes, but more than athletes, he loves troublemakers. He's done a good job handling the locker room with character issues, if that's what you want to call it. So Seattle at 5, if they do pass on Carter, and let's say they go for a Tyree Wilson, well, Detroit, what do you do? So Jeff, you can go ahead and throw it in the chat. Let's do a poll. If Carter is available at 6, yes or no, do you pick him? I want to know. And then Jeff, I'll ask you once you finish up. But JB, Jalen Carter on the board at 6, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking him, hands down. I'm running to the podium to get this.
Yeah.
Get this envelope into him. Like, yo.
Even after the pro day.
Even after the pro day, even after all the stuff like that, I just feel like if he came to the Lions, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell can somehow change his mindset, fix his culture. And not to say that he's necessarily broken, but this man just went through a tragedy in seeing 2 of his friends, lives pass away. So I think if he came here, he would have that love and that support that somehow could switch his mentality just to focus more and lock in on the game if he came here to Detroit. So I'm running to the podium as soon as I can. It's like, Jalen Carter, here.
And JB, you have to think too, and Adam, this is why you build a culture. You build a culture before you get guys like Jalen Carter, so that way when he's welcome into your franchise, there's foundational players that you believe can set the tone, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, these guys all understand we're all about work. We're all about, doing the hard work, but all, on top of that, being disciplined, not being, it's grit. That's the logo, or I guess that's the motto of the city. If Jalen Carter were to come to Detroit, it's not like there's no culture in place. There's a standard that's set by Dan, the coaches, the players, that I think if Jalen Carter were to enter, that he would benefit from that. I don't think if Jalen Carter comes to Detroit, it would be haywire. I think he would be groomed by the coaching staff and all the players. So I think it'd be a great thing for Jalen, because again, a lot of this depends on where you go. Like with Micah Parsons, there was the hazing stuff, and then he goes to Dallas, and he has a pretty good career so far. So I want to say I wouldn't mind Jalen Carter being taken at 6, but at the end of the day, it depends on what Dan and Brad think, because I'm sure they've gotten a chance to interview him. And if you interview Jalen and he's sincere, he's self-aware, he's mature enough to know, like, hey, I got to, number one, I got to lose some weight here. But on top of that, I want to get back to, because again, the tape don't lie. You watch Jalen Carter this year at Georgia, he was the best player.
Tape doesn't lie.
I don't hesitate to take him, but again, that's
we
Brad's
say
job.
Tape doesn't lie, but also the tape shows him struggling to stay on the field and him going out every 2 plays. I mean, look, when I draft somebody in the top 10, okay, it's already hard enough to land really good players, right? I think we would all agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you have a top pick, you can really mess it up. And for me, when you give me reasons to doubt why I should take you, boy, it's really hard for me to commit any pick, let alone the 6th overall pick, on a guy who showed up to his job interview 9 pounds overweight, was gasping for air after every drill.
Cramped up, too.
Cramped up, was sluggish, walking around hitting the bags and just all over the place. Like, to me, I really think in the future, the Lions are in Lambeau trying to clinch the division. Final drive. Green Bay's looking to drive down. Jalen Carter is tired. and he doesn't get to the quarterback and he makes a throw. Or he's tired on 3rd or 4th and short, and he can't make a play, or he loses his containment. I don't want to think about that. That's why Aiden was such an easy pick last year.
The motor.
It was so easy to draft Aiden Hutchinson. And it was so easy to draft Jalen Carter prior to January. But, I mean, guys, this is the equivalent of a kid showing up to school without a notebook, a backpack, and a pencil. I mean, do the simple stuff right. To me, the biggest indicator of somebody's success is when they do the small things correctly.
Yeah.
You can't even show up to your job interview and perform, let alone show up in shape. If I'm at 6, I'm going to disagree with all of you in the chat. 73% of you say you take them. JB, Jeff, I disagree. I'm taking calls, or I'm drafting somebody else. I'm taking calls. I'm moving back a spot or two if Vegas wants him. If Atlanta wants him, anybody wants him, take him. But again, I also have one very unfortunate disadvantage, is I'm not the GM, so I'm not going to have a one-on-one sit-down with Jalen Carter. I'm just not. So I'm never going to have that answer. I'm never going to have that one-on-one answer where I ask very difficult questions and I get a pulse on whether or not I can trust this guy. When I take you in the top 10, I need to trust you. Even in the first round, like I can't take a flyer at pick 6. When I improved my secondary, I'm going to have a top 5 offense next year without adding anybody on defense. I'm going to have a top 15, top 16 defense right away. I am one good draft pick away from being a legitimate contender that could beat the Eagles or the Niners. I don't want to fuck it up.
Now imagine you pass on him and he goes to Chicago. And he's gonna wreck you for the next 10 years. Like that's something too. Is it worth taking a risk on a guy like Jalen Carter, who's widely regarded as the #1 prospect in the draft? I would say yes. I would, especially when the pick you're selecting is the Rams pick. I'm not saying it's a free gamble, throw it away pick, but Jalen Carter to me is worth it.
And then what if you take him and he busts?
Well, you could say that about anybody.
Well,
Kansas could bust.
You can say that. What if you pass on him and he hits? You can say that about anybody.
No, true, but at least with Jalen Carter, I have an entire 3-year career in the SEC dominating for Georgia.
Yet I have a guy who in the ACC on a really bad team got more sacks in one season than Jalen Carter in his entire career at Georgia, playing with a bunch of first-round picks. Teron Carroll, Adam, you live life regularly when you got legal issues at the same time your future is at stake. Tell me you'll be living your life the same way. You know, Teron, I got a great answer for that. And you know what that is? How about those single moms that work 2 jobs and still find a way to cook for their kids and pick them up from school, huh? How about the people that need to go to school and pay their way through school? And they work the late night shifts, and then they only get a few hours of sleep and show up to class the next morning, huh? What about the football players that are on scholarships? What about those kids that are going to class every single day, maintaining a very high GPA, honors class, and still showing up to football, huh? What about all those kids? Legal issues? You got to be tougher than that, man. Because in the NFL, it's hard. And you're going to lose a lot of battles. He's not going to win every one-on-one. He's going to get double team occasionally. How's he going to handle adversity? So far, he's shown me he can't. I'm not saying life isn't easy or that he doesn't have some reasons why that may have happened to him.
Right.
But adversity, dealing with it, is the ultimate winning indicator. And to those that can, will succeed in their life.
Well, I think he still has time to prove he can overcome this adversity. I don't think he's written off already. If you draft him and by OTAs and training camp, he looks good, he's losing weight, that's where you overcome adversity. Like saying he just won't overcome adversity because of a bad pro day to me is stupid. And the question I would ask you is, do you trust, well, of course, Brad, you're going to say yes, you trust Brad Holmes, but I'll move to the coaching staff. Do you trust the culture in which Jalen Carter would be entering? Do you trust that these guys...
Yes, but what does that mean? Because at the end of the day, it's on the individual. See, I'm
True.
Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I really believe this in my whole heart. You as an individual have complete control over your life, whether you want to agree with that statement or not. That's what I believe. And when you have the skill set and the talent that a Jalen Carter has, and you make those small mistakes, that's all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'll take the less talented player that I know for a fact is going to give me everything. Aiden Hutchinson. Was he more talented than Kayvon Thibodeau or Trayvon Walker? You could argue no. But he was damn right the best pick of the three. Because I get to sleep at night every single night knowing he's working his ass off. He's going to get better. And I don't have to worry about getting a call at 3 in the morning that there was a domestic issue. Or that he was out in the club and he fought somebody. Or that he got a DUI. Or that he was going 89 and a 45, Jalen Carter. I don't have to think about that. And you know what? Maybe that's not nice. And maybe you shouldn't take personal things into the NFL. But when I'm investing millions of dollars, it matters to me. It does. Because you, whoever you are, at 6th overall this year, if you are going to be a defensive player on this Detroit Lions team, you can make an impact so much that this team could be in an NFC Championship game this year.
And it doesn't help that Dan Campbell's his only rules he has.
Don't be a turd. Show up what? In shape?
His 4 rules. Don't be late. Keep your weight in check. Don't disrespect your teammates. Don't disrespect the game. That's his 4 rules.
Disrespected the game with his lazy-ass workout.
He didn't keep his
show
weight
up
in
in shape. Disrespected his teammates.
Well, he technically... Okay, I'm not
and
sure.
Disrespected the team by showing up the way he did.
Technically, that report did come out about him buying his teammate, who was homeless, lunch. All right, so he's...
Malik Willis gave somebody that was fucking homeless food.
But Malik
during
and
the
Jalen
combine
Carter
last
are
year.
not the same prospect.
I don't know.
That.
I was told last year he'd go number 2 overall. It's higher than
Jalen Carter
Carter
will actually go in the top 10, unlike Malik Willis. But it is what it is. You would have to believe Dan and Brad that okay, he can overcome this, and we believe that he's a good person. He just made a bad mistake. And if you, I agree with you in the fact of if you're taking a player at 6, you have to absolutely trust him, not just playing but off the field. That's a real thing. A part of me just doesn't want to pass on a guy like Jalen Carter. He's a position of need.
And I don't blame you guys, by the way, for what? How many? 70% of you saying you would take him. I'm actually not mad at it, JP. I don't hate the idea of taking arguably one of the more talented guys coming out in this draft.
Yeah, you're more skeptical than I think most people.
When you do what he did, that says a lot about who he is. Bro was fighting a case for his freedom. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Austin
fighting
says,
a case for his freedom. What? Was he wrongly accused of anything? Huh? Was he wrongly pulled over going 89 and a 45? Huh? Was he wrongly convicted of a crime he didn't commit? No. He's just a fucking idiot fighting for his life. Like he's one of these people that their lives have been ruined because they were unjustly or wrongly convicted of something. Get out of here, man.
Austin says, WoodwardSports.com, you guys act like a person can't get better through coaching. Haha.
What is it?
You act like a person can get better through coaching.
That's not the issue. Coaching's not the issue. The Lions culture isn't the issue. The issue is, as an individual, how do I trust you when on the most important day of your life, that's what you did?
And hold on, by the way, Kelly Ship says, driving reckless while intoxicated isn't a bad mistake. He's an idiot that directly killed 2 people. Well, I don't think he directly killed 2 people. I don't want to get that twisted. He didn't directly kill anybody, but he was driving intoxicated, which is a terrible mistake, and he could have hurt somebody.
You can't coach what people do after hours, okay? If Jeff wants to go tonight and have an orgy with 7 dudes and get drunk and show up late to work tomorrow, I can't control that. That's on Jeff. And that would be his mistake, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
What I can do is make sure I go through every process available to ensure that I'm not going to have these issues with Jeff. Because I don't want a co-host that's not going to show up for work on time, or show up every other day, or only show up and do good shows once a week. I want a guy that every day is going to deliver. And when I'm drafting somebody at number 6, I want the same thing.
I think that's fair.
Who do you draft? Aiden Hutchinson or Jalen Carter, if available last year?
Oh, it'd be Aiden.
that should say more given the talent that Jalen Carter has.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break. When we get back, top of the hour, are the Lions pursuing Ed Oliver? What's going on with the Bobby Wagner news? And DJ Chark re-signing in Detroit, or is he going to take a Carolina offer?
He better.
We'll get to that coming up next, but before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call them anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you for as long as you need. They also have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work behind people that have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for more information.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, let me tell you about my good friends over at Custom Health Center. Sign up today. Give them a call. Dr. Jason and his awesome team. 844-789-8446. Give Dr. Jason and his team a call to help you change your life for the better. Whew. You know what? This Ed Oliver news, the Bobby Wagner, DJ Chark. We'll go through free agency actually in 12 minutes. What I want to do actually is we have a ton of callers, people wanting to talk about Jalen Carter.
Ooh.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. JB, send us whoever is on the line first. Go for it.
All right, I'll send you guys Zach.
All right, Zach, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Zach.
All right, I guess Zach either died or
Yep, I think
he's
Zach,
fucking a fish.
I think Zach hung up on us. So here's Tom for you guys.
All right, Tom, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy?
What's up, Tom?
There.
There we go.
What's going on?
No, this is actually Kyle. Well, what's going on, guys?
Oh, Kyle.
what's up, Kyle?
What's going on, Kyle? What do you want to talk about?
Let's see. I've been on here 32 minutes waiting to say something. Well, I actually, I'll say something about Jalen Carter, but would it be okay if I brought up one other quick thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, so since we're sticking to the Jalen Carter thing, I'll just go ahead and say this. As far as picking him if he's available at 6, I think, if you're Brad Holmes, what you obviously do first and foremost is you don't look at guys in their pajamas. Obviously, him showing up, giving that poor performance is a little bit different than somebody doing well in their pajamas at a combine. But I say you look at the tape and see what he was able to do against some of the better offensive linemen in college, because obviously if he's going to have issues with his high motor, him not having a motor or getting tired, then it would show up in those in that footage, if you will. So the point I wanted to bring and see if I could get a response out of you guys on it, is something that I haven't heard anybody say, and that is with what we've been doing in free agency, signing Sutton, Mosley, and the other guys, I forget right off the top, but we've really improved our defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think strangely enough, it has the potential to improve our offense and our coaching, because in practice, when you put, Amon-Ra up against a better cornerback, I just feel like, it could improve both the offense and the coaching, because you're going to have to, move the X's and O's around a little bit different. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want competition. I mean, you look at the Eagles or the 49ers, when you have as good of a defense as they have and as good of an offense, I mean, the practice battles are always going to be like that. So I'm with you. Just to have more talent defensively, it's going to challenge this offense, because last year, you're practicing against a defense that was middle of the pack. At the end of the season, for a majority, they were one of the worst defenses. So I'm with you, Kyle. I think it matters, especially in practice.
Not bad. I don't hate that, Kyle. Good call, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for.
By the way, thanks for
staying on.
Yeah, thanks for sticking on the line, man. Your patience.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yep. Take care. I don't buy into too much on the idea that you have to have studs everywhere to get good practice. I mean, you saw the Lions last year in joint practice light up the Colts for a few days, and it was really at that point we were talking like, oh man, this offense top 10 for sure this year.
But then the defense was getting lit up by the Colts too.
So take it for what it's worth. But at the end of the day, yeah, look, I mean, they got Gardner Johnson, Sutton, and Mosley, just to name a few. They're going to be much better. It's going to be fun to watch, and I don't have to see Jeff Okudah line up as a number one. It's going to be really good. Thank you, God, and more importantly, thank you, Brad Holmes.
By the way, did you see Ermanni Awarrior signed with the Giants? Did you see that deal? He got signed a 1-year deal with the Giants.
That's whatever. What? Who cares? That's like me saying Eric Ebron was just signed with somebody
I always
else.
liked Ermanni, and I'm curious what he does with the Giants.
Yeah, he had one good season and then fell completely apart.
Yeah, he had an awful season last year.
Yeah, cornerback is such a mental game. It's such a mental position. You have to be so strong mentally to play that position, because 7-8 times out of 10 you're going to get beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how the NFL's set up. So, JB, let's go to the next caller. Who do we got?
All right, I'm going to send you guys Chris.
Chris, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
How y'all doing this morning?
Very good.
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Okay. Adham, I understand your skepticism, but, I mean, come on, man. He's a 21-year-old kid, man. Everybody makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. Nobody's writing off John Morant. He's 23. Come on, man. Be for real.
Honestly, though, I agree with you that he's a kid. The problem is I'm investing my future in that kid. It's not like this is a kid just any other kid. This isn't a 21-year-old who's in college. He made a mistake, slap him on the wrist and move on, and let's try to move on. You're talking millions of dollars at stake with a top 5, top 6 pick. You're talking about the future of this interior line with that pick. To me, it is more than that. It's more high stakes. This can really change whether or not the Detroit Lions are going to be contenders in the NFC. Are they going to be able to go up against San Francisco, Philly? They hit on this pick, whether it's Carter or anybody else on the defensive line. Man, that changes everything. So, yeah, I am very, very, very concerned. Does it mean I'm totally off limits? But, I don't think it's fair to say, oh, he's a kid. I need that kid to be an adult because he's going to be playing with adults, Chris, no?
Okay, but I agree with that. But here's the thing. That's why I brought up John Morant. John Morant's 23, and he's flashing guns and hanging around with people that he shouldn't be hanging around with.
Yeah, but Chris, in the NBA, it's a star-driven league, right? It's not really a team sport as much as it's you need 2 superstars on your team, and you're probably a contender. John Morant's a fucking idiot. I'm surprised he's even playing right now. He's coming off the bench for Memphis, but I think they're 2 totally different situations because in the NFL, you don't get away with that shit.
Yeah, I think the difference too, Chris, is Ja was already a superstar before this stuff happened. So I guess you can give him more of leniency because it's Ja Morant. Like for Jalen, he hasn't even been drafted yet. I think you'd compare it more to like a Brandon Miller, who I love, but he comes with a little baggage, and I have to stay consistent. I wouldn't mind drafting Brandon Miller, so I wouldn't mind drafting Jalen Carter.
Well, Jalen Carter's not an NFL star, but he's a college star. But I'll say this, and I'll let you guys go.
Yep.
So who is it then? A Tyree Wilson, a Miles Murphy?
That's the tricky part. Yeah, no, it's a great. That's why the question is there this morning, because if you pass on, and I agree with you, you pass on a star talent like Jalen Carter, who is it? Is it Tyree Wilson, or does he go at 5 and that's why he's available to you? Is it a Kalijah Kancey? Do you try to trade back out of the pick? I don't know. Public seems to want Carter. 70% of the chat were in favor of drafting him. Again, I'm only bringing up concerns that I have whenever I think of drafting a player that high. You look at anybody, character to me is everything. If I can't rely on you to just show up and do your job, let alone I have to worry about all the stuff. Again, he can make mistakes. Everybody's entitled to make mistakes.
Right.
I don't think this should mean Jalen Carter isn't a top 10 pick. I don't think this means he's not going to work in the NFL. But, when I'm investing that kind of money, when I'm investing my future of this defense in you, I need to trust you. And when you show up for your job interview, 9 pounds overweight, you're running around like a fat ass, not doing the drills correctly, you're gasping for air. Yeah, Chris, it's a bad look. It's a bad look more than anything.
Yeah, but I still think I can get past that more than like Ray Lewis being accused of killing somebody or.
Well, I think he did actually kill somebody, but yeah, I get it though.
Yeah.
No, I'm
You're
with
right.
you, and I wouldn't hate if you said, Adam, I think I can get past that character issue, and I'll make it work with Jalen Carter. I think that's an acceptable answer. I'm just bringing up my concerns.
Yeah.
I understand, and I appreciate that. I want to say to you guys, I appreciate what y'all do each and every day. Jeff, you actually did me a favor one day, and you might not remember this, but I dropped my, let's just say my books, and people were stealing them and all that kind of stuff, and you helped me pick them up one day.
Oh,
my arm was broke, yep, and you helped me pick them up one day.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I
You
appreciate
guys went to high school together?
Yes.
Chris, wait.
Yes.
What?
No
I
shit.
don't want to ask for your last name on the air, but just,
DM Jeff. I want to know this story. This is amazing. Great calls, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, Chris, you're the man, dude. Appreciate the support always.
Look at Jeff.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good day, man.
Yeah, you too,
buddy.
bro. You too.
Never in my life would I thought Jeff was a kid in school who would actually help a kid that was down and out. I thought Jeff would be the piece of shit that was hitting the books, to be honest. Look at him wearing that gold chain. Jeff was the sexiest looking kid in school. He'd walk around, big chest. Look at him. Look at him. No, put the camera. Look at him.
What?
How do you not? Look at this kid.
What?
Walk around the school with his dick out. Just be like, I could get any girl I want.
How do you not?
How do you not?
I was actually, I was with my girlfriend, my previous girlfriend. I'm a good guy.
Oh,
That's
God.
what I'm about.
Look at you. I want the kid that I helped to call in the show now. Because when I was in middle school like a fucking idiot, I saw 8th graders picking on a kid. And I was in 6th grade. And I walked to him like a fucking idiot. I was like, hey, that's not nice, guys. They kicked my ass so bad. Oh, my God. I got the shit kicked out of me. I'm still mad at that kid for that day. Fucking idiot. What an idiot I was. Why I even tried to help him. Stupid decision on my end. That fucking asshole.
Man, Chris, I did not expect. That's why I would like to know his last name.
I mean, you got to know. He even gave you a hint. His arm was broken at the time. You don't remember a kid in high school whose arm was broken? You helped him out?
I just do that.
Or
like,
did you pay him to call in and say that?
I just do that. I might have slipped him some money. I might have slipped him some money. No, I appreciate you, Chris.
Oh,
that is
God.
awesome.
That's a great call.
That is awesome.
All right, we'll take a break. When we get back, I want to get to the Bobby Wagner. I want to get to the DJ Chark, and Ed Oliver news. What does it mean for the Lions? What happens if they do somehow land Ed Oliver? What does that mean for pick number 6? Does that just guarantee a quarterback now? I don't agree with this year being the year, but we'll have that conversation coming up next. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. Don't forget the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Kel Tan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. 27 locations and more on the way.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Some favorites during Lent like shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and the new fish sandwich. Get to your local Big Boy today. Don't forget the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights.
You guys are absurd in the chat. I don't see Adam helping anybody. Honestly, Jeff, what kind of dude were you in high school? Huh?
Reserved.
Were you the popular kid, or
nah? I mean, I didn't
were you
really
just
care
a kid
about
that was kind of friends with everybody and you got along with everybody?
That was me. I mean, I didn't really care, to be honest with you.
You were more interested in the women.
No, I had a girlfriend throughout high school. I was just I have older siblings, so mentally I was always just trying to get through high school. Like, I didn't really care. I had good grades. I just
you weren't an idiot.
Was going to parties, even though Adham makes it seem like I'm doing.
I don't know. I've seen Jeff out on a Saturday night. He's a fucking savage.
No, it's false.
Bingo.
That is false.
Bingo.
I'm chilling. I watch sports. Very simple man.
Favorite high school moment, if you have one.
There's a lot.
Best one.
I don't know. I guess one time our fire alarms were broken so bad they were going off all day, so we had to just
That's
go
so
outside.
Fucking lame. All right, moving on.
There was like helicopters flying around.
Yeah, you know what? You probably were. You deserve to get picked on.
There was a fire. There was a legitimate fire.
You deserve to get picked on in high school if you did, dude. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. How about I got a blowjob in the back of Mrs. Tofalski's office or something? I don't know.
I never.
Jesus Christ.
That wasn't me.
You never had sex on school grounds?
No.
Never got a quickie?
No.
Never behind the stands?
No.
In the locker room? Snuck in a girl to the boys' locker room? No, never.
Why you
All right.
always lying?
All right, here we go. Moving on.
It's false information.
Bobby Wagner. Let's
Bobby
talk about
Wagner,
him.
baby.
You still think the line should go for him?
Absolutely. And I know you re-signed Anzalone, you have Malcolm Rodriguez, you're probably going to draft a linebacker, which is all very true. But if you can bring in one of the best linebackers last year alone, but still playing at an extremely high level, it's Bobby Wagner. Now, if you ask me, Jeff, would you rather bring in Bobby Wagner or DJ Chark? I would say DJ Chark, because his value to this offense, you saw it last year, and I don't want to go draft another wide receiver. I'd rather just get DJ Chark. But again, if you're asking me, should they bring in Bobby Wagner? It's not much debate. Yes, they should. He's playing at a high level. He would come in, mentor guys on this defense, and I think everybody can comfortably say you would trust Bobby Wagner over Alex Anzalone. He's solid, but Bobby Wagner is a significant upgrade. It just is what it is. And I don't think he would ask for a ton of money. Truthfully, though, I think there's only two teams that have a realistic shot of signing Bobby Wagner. It's the Cowboys and it's the Seahawks. That's my opinion. I don't know the likelihood of it, but you're seeing the Lions restructure some of these contracts. So they're freeing up money. I don't think it's just for DJ Chark, but we'll see. We'll see. They have a lot of money, and they still have money to sign their draft class and get DJ Chark and have a little more money left. So it just depends. Does Brad want to push the money to next year and have more money, or do you want to be more aggressive this year and go all in? I mean, you're favored to win the division, which would mean you're going to host a playoff game, which means you should win a playoff game. So if you're the Lions and you're Brad Holmes, not saying go all in for a Super Bowl, but you got to go all in. I mean, if you can get Bobby Wagner, go get him. So I don't think there's much debate there. So yes, to answer the question, Bobby Wagner, make him a Lion. if you can.
All right, then let me ask you, who would you prefer, Ed Oliver, DJ Chark, or Bobby Wagner between the three?
Ed Oliver, and this is the problem with Ed Oliver. I've seen that reported because if you don't know, he posted on his story him sacking all NFC North quarterbacks. Didn't have Jared, but then he ended up putting Jared in there. So the whole thing was, is he coming to the Lions? He needs to get paid. Like he's approaching, and that's why the Bills can't retain Ed Oliver. Like he's gonna have to get paid. So if the Lions were to acquire him, you're gonna have to extend him. And to be honest with you, he's solid, but. And I think disappointing is probably the wrong word, but he hasn't really lived up to. He hasn't lived up to what he.
14 and a half career sacks, coming off a 2.5 sack season. Disappointing to say the least. No.
Yeah, he's not. People. I mean, he ain't.
He's not what
Quinnen
you
Williams
need.
Or Dexter Lawrence. He's all right. And you're going to have to pay him. So, in my opinion, you don't get out Oliver and you go draft a D tackle at 6. Go get Jalen Carter.
Wasn't he arrested on DUI and gun charges too?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's true, by the way. I'm like 95% certain.
Yes, you are correct.
There you go. So check him off the board. That's not happening.
Yeah, he was intoxicated while unlawfully carrying a weapon. So, and that was in 2020.
Smart.
Case was dismissed, but still, you talk
about
what a
smart guy.
You talk
and
about
what a great lawyer to get it dismissed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Bobby Wagner, I really still love the idea of him. I just don't know how realistic it is. To me, Bobby Wagner is going to Seattle. That's the team that makes sense to me.
I do too. The Cowboys would make sense if he's going to join it, if he's signing a 1 year. But I don't think he's signing a 1 year deal. Like, I don't think you'd sign Bobby for a flyer. I think
he basically got released on a 3-year deal left with the Rams. He's probably going to look for a 2-3 year deal somewhere. And I would imagine the Seahawks are going to want to give it to him. Would be my guess. That'd be my guess. Seahawks are still trying to compete. The fact that they even made the playoffs last year was ridiculous, but that's a whole different conversation.
No to Ed Oliver. Draft a defensive tackle. Yes to Bobby Wagner if you can. And DJ Chark, if you're talking about number one priorities, to me it's DJ Chark. I still believe that because I don't think they'll draft a wide receiver at 18. So go bring back DJ. Hopefully the Panthers don't steal him away. But
I wonder what the offer is for Chark on the table right now. Because if I'm the Panthers, what's stopping me from giving him a multi-year contract?
I don't think really nothing.
At the same rate, if not $1 million or $1.5 million more than the Lions, to just force his hand and have him come to Carolina. Because I'm drafting a rookie quarterback. All he has is Adham Thielen right now. Right. Terrence Marshall hasn't amounted to anything out of LSU in his second year, so he's going in his third year now. Mm-hmm. He hasn't done much. You have an offensive line that's okay. A running back group that's fine. Rookie quarterback's going to want weapons. It's not the best wide receiving class in free agency. It's not the best wide receiving class in the draft.
I think you can make an argument DJ's the best wide receiver available in free agency.
I wonder who's still available right now.
I'll check for you.
Let me know, because for the Lions, you're going to want to sign him on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, because the guys that were available this year, Allen Lazard, Jacoby Myers, Juju, Robert Woods, like
it's
Hardman.
It's a garbage free agency class.
It's not a great class. So DJ Chark to me is the best. And if I'm the Panthers, it's obvious. I'm trying to get DJ Chark. But again, if you're DJ, one thing he pointed out when he first got to Detroit is I've had a different OC every year I've been in the league. And even dating back to college, he's essentially had different OCs every year he's played football, from the collegiate level to the NFL level. Maybe he's interested in now retaining and having the same OC for the second year with Ben Johnson. So for him, the fit makes sense. For the Lions, the fit makes sense, but the dollar's got to make sense. I mean, the chicken's got to make sense. So Brad Holmes has to figure that out. And again, I think you can figure it out, but I don't know what he's asking for. So
I have some
Speakeasy Easy says, I heard Clark and Chiefs might reunite. Yes. Someone asked me about Frank Clark the other day. The Frank Clark stuff is,
Go for it, JB. Who do we got?
You're not going to like any of these names, so I can tell you that right now. Kenny Golladay.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. I'd rather... I'd rather not say what I'd rather have happen to me, but move on.
Nelson Aguilar.
Who?
Marvin Jones. Julio Jones.
No.
N'Keal Harry.
No.
Jarvis Landry.
No.
Sammy Watkins is still out here.
None of them do what you would want DJ Chark to do in this offense. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're expecting Jameson Williams to have a big impact this season. You still have Josh Reynolds, who has great rapport with Jared Goff. You have Khalif Raymond. They all do different things. What you want is a guy that's going to line up on the outside and stretch the field. That's it. Pay DJ Chark. 1-year contract, no problem. They have a lot of cap space available. Do they sign a multi-year? I don't know.
I hope so. Because, again, you want to lock him up. I don't think he's going to ask for a ton. But, again, I think he has the leverage here, DJ Chark, because he has multiple suitors. He hasn't unfollowed the Lions. He still has the Lions in his bio on Instagram. So I think he's interested in reuniting. But the money's got to make sense. And we'll see. Brad has it. The Lions have the money.
Would you sign Odell to a 1-year deal?
Hell no.
I would rather give Jeff the money and have him line up at wide receiver than OBJ.
And Odell's one of my favorite players to watch, like in his heyday with the Giants. But right now, 2 torn ACLs. Like, Odell's, and he's asking for $10, $15 million. He's got to go to a contender. I think the Jets make sense. I want to stay. I'd stay away from Odell. I'll pass on that.
I would agree with you on that. Would you trade for D-Hop? We did this yesterday. Absolutely not.
The fit doesn't make sense.
They're asking, by the way, for a 2nd and a 3rd was reported.
Brandon Cooks just went for a 5th or a 6th. Like, I'm good.
D-Hop coming off a PED year where he was suspended half the season. Coming off a year where he threw tantrums on the sideline. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. Adam, I'm gonna fucking pass. Excuse my language.
The real K. Collins says Lions should trade for Sutton from Denver. Have a reunion.
Ooh, wow. Cortland Sutton would be an interesting player. I just don't know why Denver would move off of him. Sean Payton's there. It's his first year. They just upgraded the offensive line. They're going to want Russell Wilson to do better. And let's be honest, Sutton was the best receiver last year for this football team. I don't see why they would want to move off of him.
They want to move one of them, either Sutton or Jerry Jeudy.
If they're smart, they move off of Jeudy.
Or KJ Hamler.
Nah, well, he's a whatever. So.
Jerry Judy's a stud.
Maybe contender stuff happens. Didn't D-Hop get traded to the Cards for like a 4th rounder? No.
2nd, wasn't it?
I think it was 2 seconds.
I think it was a 2nd.
Wasn't that the...
Because he went from the Texans right to the Cardinals,
Arizona
and that was
Cardinals,
a 2nd-round pick.
And it was either for 1 second or 2. I don't remember exactly. And that's what got Bill O'Brien fired, by the way.
Yeah.
That trade got Bill O'Brien fired. And honestly, rightfully so. That's what happens when you mess around and find out. Chark for 1 year, $10 million, 2 years for 18. Look, I'm open to multi-year on Chark, but nothing more than 2 years. I think you have a little vacuum right now. You're going to have a ton of money next year, so you don't even have to worry about the Chark money, even if you commit. Yeah, I don't mind $9, $10 million a year for Chark. Even if he only gives me 10, 11, 12 games again, it's fine. I watched Jared Goff throw the ball up and down the field all season. A Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who early on missed a few games with some weird injuries. Oh, and TJ Hawkinson being an absolute bum. And then when they got rid of him, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and missing one. Help
James
me out.
Mitchell?
James Mitchell.
Yeah.
All did just fine without him.
Yep.
Just fine. The beauty of the Detroit Lions offense, they don't rely on a single player. It is a who is open offense. Yes, they draw up plays for certain players. Obviously, on third down, you're always going to want to look for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Right.
He was one of the better receivers on third down this year. Goff's favorite target on third down this year. But nothing more than that. When we get back, let's go around the NFL. Let's have some fun. We'll get to the Pistons and Red Wings only briefly, and then maybe we'll take some callers. All that and more coming up. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can now make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give them a shot and you won't be disappointed. Contact them, Mark at SwissINS.com for more information.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. Friday morning, 9/29, March 24th. Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate, WoodwardSports.com, as always. Some interesting news around the NFL. We can start with the DeForest Buckner news. That was kind of relevant in Detroit, but not anymore. So not much to say there. Good player. Indianapolis. I'll say this about Indianapolis. If you were Indianapolis, think about your situation right now. You don't have a choice of getting, quote, your guy. Now, maybe you think the guy that's going to be available is your guy, and good for you.
Will Levis.
But think about that. Think about that for a second. If you were in their shoes, or you were in the Lions' shoes, and you actually, let's say, wanted a quarterback, and you wanted to entertain it, you're going to tell me that the fourth quarterback off the board is your selection? You're going to tell me the guy that was available, fourth, was going to work? We can do this all day. Here, actually, you know what? This is exactly what we're going to do. First-round quarterbacks drafted since 2000. All right, we read off this list, Jeff, the other day. We're going to have fun with it. In the year... Wait, whoops. Wrong link. Here's what we got. Jamar... Oh, my God, dude. This class is like... Oh,
it's
no.
It's hot dog water.
Oh, no.
Let's see it.
It's really bad. Okay, let's start back from... You want to go 2016 prior or start from 2000 up?
Let's go 2000 up.
Okay, 2000 up then. That is what we're going to do. We'll start in the year 2000. Only one quarterback taken, Chad Pennington. 2001, it was only Vic. Here we go. You are the 13th to take a quarterback in the first round. And you are the Redskins at the time. And David Carr went 1. Joey Harrington went 2nd. And the third quarterback taken in the first round was Patrick Ramsey. Now, if any of you know who Patrick Ramsey is, I would be shocked because I have no fucking clue. Moving on. 2003, a very good example of quarterbacks on the board. First round, Carson Palmer.
Oh.
First quarterback taken.
Carson
was
Palmer.
the best of the bunch.
Yeah.
Why? Because Byron Leftwich, Kyle Bowler, Rex Grossman went after him. 2004 is the anomaly year. It is. Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, Big Ben. I really have nothing there. That is a one really strong data point. But 2005, where it actually kind of favors the Lions, and you saw happen with Mahomes and the Chiefs, is Alex Smith goes number 1, but Rodgers slips all the way in the first round. The Packers grab him at 25. And then Jason Campbell, I'm sure you all remember, by the way, another nobody quarterback that the Redskins at the time also took. Shout out to the Washington Redskins. Absolute suck. They absolutely suck at drafting quarterbacks.
Stay consistent.
Yeah. 2006. It doesn't get any better. Vince Young, Matt Leinart, Jay Cutler. If you want to talk about who had the best career among the three, it actually was Jay Cutler. Even though I think Vince Young was screwed by, who's that coach, Jeff Fisher? I think Jeff Fisher completely botched Vince Young. I still think to this day Vince Young would have worked in the NFL had he gone anywhere else. I really do. He was a stud his rookie year. 2007, Jamarcus Russell, Brady Quinn. I'm going to skip the years where there isn't 3 or more quarterbacks taken, if you guys don't mind. We'll go to 2009. Matthew Stafford, number 1 overall. Congratulations, New York. You got Mark Sanchez at 5. Josh Freeman at 17. The grass isn't always greener. You go to the next year. Skip it. 2011. Cam Newton goes number 1. Rightfully so. And then it's Jake Locker, Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder. How'd that work out? And these are all teams within the top 12. The next year, Andrew Luck, rightfully so, number 1. RG3, number 2. Unfortunate what happened in his career, but it didn't work out. Oh, and then Ryan Tannehill and Brandon Weeden. Wow. The 3rd and 4th best quarterbacks taken in the first round really worked out. And then you got to go all the way to Jared Goff's draft class. Him and Wentz go 1 and 2. Goff the right decision. Wentz, it looked promising in the beginning, but it completely busted. And then Paxton Lynch. Now, the one thing that's left out of this data point that I will acknowledge, by the way, guys, is that there are quarterbacks in the 2nd round. Recently, Jalen Hurts. Quarterbacks in the 3rd round. Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, that did show up in this timeline that were obviously very good picks. But when we talk about first-round picks, it's usually the guys 8 out of the 10 examples I gave you in the last 22 years where 3 or more quarterbacks are taken, typically the guy that gets taken first is the guy that works out better than the others. The 2 anomalies, Jay Cutler and, God, I forgot the other one. Forgive me. It was Jay Cutler and somebody else. So imagine being the Colts, let alone the Lions. The Colts being the 3rd team, the Lions being the 4th team. You go back to the Trevor Lawrence draft. Trevor Lawrence was a hit at number 1. Zach Wilson busted. Trey Lance, we don't even know anything about him yet. Let's see if he stays healthy this year.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, average, in my opinion. Mac Jones, average. Nobody's happy that Mac Jones is their quarterback. Nobody's happy that Justin Fields is their quarterback. The only team that was really happy is Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a shitty situation to be in. It really is. And if you're sold on what's his face? If you're sold on Anthony Richardson, be my guest. Go for it.
But history would show that
it doesn't fucking work.
Only about one.
Oh, and the other anomaly here, I apologize, was Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, that draft class, which I think is the greatest quarterback draft class of all time. I can't think of a better one.
And even
off the top of my head.
Even 2 quarterbacks in the teens. I mean, you have Mahomes and Watson. That typically doesn't happen. Like, history would show us that only probably 1, maybe 2 this year will work out.
On average, 1 works out every first round. On average. It's actually less than 1 is the number.
Yeah, the odds aren't.
Where they're franchise quarterbacks, where you're really happy with them.
True.
Because there are guys that worked, but they were meh. Right? Jay Cutler worked, but he was eh. Right? Alex Smith worked, but meh. I spent a first overall pick on a guy who didn't even play his best ball for me. He went and played in Kansas City. Right? So just remember that whenever we talk about quarterbacks,
and
guys.
Zach says, WoodwardSports.com, it's about situation too, which I agree with. I think situation matters.
Say it again, I'm sorry?
Situation matters.
Oh, of course.
For
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. If you could redraft the Mahomes draft, he goes 1. Patrick Mahomes would not. Is that the Baker Mayfield draft, by the way? Or no? Is that the Mitchell Trubisky draft?
For who?
Mahomes.
That's the Mitchell Trubisky draft.
Okay, so Trubisky went what? 2 or 3?
He went 2.
You think
traded up to get him.
Chicago would have given up another 3 first-round picks if they knew they could get Mahomes. But would Mahomes be Mahomes in Chicago? No. I don't believe so. He would still be really good, but not a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time appearance.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be considering him as a top 3, top 5 quarterback of all time. No, I don't think so. Situation does matter. And a lot of it is good fortune. Sometimes you get the number 1 pick where it's the obvious guy, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and sometimes you get to sneak in at 7 or 10 and you get a Josh Allen. And you get a Patrick Mahomes at 10, Deshaun Watson
Herbert
at 12,
at 6.
Herbert at 6.
It happens.
It happens. It does happen. Unreal.
After we get back from break, I want to kind of review the poll I just put in the chat.
What's the poll?
It's 3 options you have if you're the Lions. Trade up assets for Will Anderson, Jalen Carter at 6, and you keep assets, or you take somebody else at 6.
Ooh. I'm surprised that's not heavily in favor of Will Anderson. Wow. Let's get to that in just a minute, but before we go, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Planet Fitness. Sign up today. Get your asses in shape. What are you waiting for? There's no better time to start going to the gym. $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. Sign up at a local Planet Fitness. Hopefully you don't get your butt beat like that Tekashi guy at Lifetime. So that's why Planet Fitness is the better option. You get your ass kicked at Lifetime at Planet Fitness. It's a safe zone, judgment-free environment. Nobody will kick your ass and jump you in the locker room. That's a guarantee. PlanetFitness.com. We'll be right back.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for 4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. you get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. As always, if you're missing the show live, you can always go back later, download the podcast, listen after the fact on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find Jeff and I available. As always, make sure you leave a 5-star review for Jeff's hair. I do want to get to one comment before we get to your poll, if you don't mind. There are mentally challenged fucking idiots in the chat this morning. I can confirm. My sources have confirmed it.
Ooh, your sources?
Yes. My sources have confirmed it. His name is Detroit Supremacy.
Oh, jeez.
He said, go watch Anthony Richardson mixtape. He is Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Let me educate you on Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. First of all, Lamar Jackson was a Heisman-winning quarterback at Louisville, who in his worst season threw for 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
Are you defending Lamar right now?
Yes, shockingly, right?
Wow.
And his last year at Louisville, 3,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, while running for 1,500 yards and 1,700 yards back-to-back years. Yeah, by the way, just so we know, mixtape, right? Cool. Let's go to Patrick Mahomes, who in his second year at Texas Tech as a sophomore, 4,700 yards, 36 touchdowns. His senior year, 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns. What Anthony Richardson do in college at Florida?
What do you do?
2,500 yards. Sub 50-plus completion percentage.
But Adam, he's got a cannon.
You're going to compare Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson in college to that fuck? And no disrespect to the kid. I hope he has a great NFL career.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Wish him nothing but the best.
I don't think it's fair to compare him.
What a fucking joke.
Booner, woodwardsports.com, he says in the chat thread, watch anyone's mixtape and they'll look great. He's got a point.
Bro, I can't believe I'm defending Lamar Jackson this morning. Lamar carried Louisville. Why couldn't Anthony Richardson carry Florida? What was Lamar working with that was so special at Louisville? Oh, I'll remind you, nothing.
Talk to him.
He was running for 1,700 yards a year and throwing for 3,500.
Yeah.
What was Anthony Richardson? Well, fuck you. I wish you had your name and not just some stupid username, Detroit Supremacy. I wish I knew your name. If your name was Rod, I'd look in the camera and say, Rod, fuck you. But I can't do that this morning because I don't know your name.
Boom. Roasted.
Here we are. Whew. Okay, moving on. You want to talk about your poll? Go for it, Jeff.
So right now it's got 262 votes. The three options I put are trade up assets for Will Anderson, meaning you'd probably be that Arizona pick. You'd have to trade up for it. Don't know what that would look like. But the second option is draft Jalen Carter at 6, and you get to keep your assets. Or take another prospect at 6. Right now, in the lead is draft Jalen Carter at 6 and keep your assets. 49% are in favor of that. 31% are in favor of trading up assets for Will Anderson. And 20% are in favor of just taking who's ever there besides Carter at 6. I'm going to be honest. If I had to give my thoughts on this poll, I would say trade up for Will Anderson. I just would need to see what that would look like because you jump from 6 to 3. I don't know if that would be maybe a future first.
What am I giving up? 55 and a future 4 or a future? If I could give up 55 and a third, I would do it.
But if you're trading, like mortgaging some of your future...
you're not giving up 2 1s.
No.
To move up 3 spots. That's not happening. Does a defensive-minded coach in Jonathan Gannon, who was just hired, want to pass up on Will Anderson? I find that hard to believe.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
So I don't think the Anderson move is realistic. You know how I feel about Jalen Carter at the moment. And you guys know how I feel about Kalijah Kancey. So I'm going to go with option number 3, which is the least popular option right now.
Take any
I
other
want
prospect.
Will Anderson, but what am I paying? And is it realistic? If I gave up a second and next year's third, I would do it in a heartbeat.
And you don't think another team will be trying to trade up? If Arizona said our pick's available, that another team wouldn't want to jump the Colts for a quarterback. Like, there's going to be some team that's willing to give up multiple firsts to go to 3 to take a quarterback. So I think it would cost a lot, to be honest with you. So I'd probably lean with just taking Jalen Carter at 6, keeping assets.
Fair enough.
And that's where the majority of people agree.
Not bad. Not bad. Devon Witherspoon says Rustin Burks. Absolutely not. If the Lions draft a corner at 6, I'm going to go to Amish Town. I'm going to... Hear me out. I'm going to get a group of Amish people. We're going to get on our tractors and our horses.
Okay.
We're going to ride all the way to Ford Field and protest. And then we're going to go to Allen Park and do the same thing.
How far of a ride is that?
It's gonna be a minute.
Riding on horses all the way to Ford Field. Okay, all right.
Because we're gonna take our time, and we're gonna plan how we're gonna do this. That's why we're gonna use Amish people. And from the YouTube videos and the Twitter videos I've seen, they can build a barn in a day. Apparently. You guys ever see those videos? No.
What?
Nobody on the same page with me this morning.
I don't think anyone's on the same page with you with Amish people. I think that you lost this once
I'm just saying.
You're rolling with some Amish people. I like this comment too. NFL Hood Pablo says, draft Christian Gonzalez at 6 and pray Cansey falls to 18. If not, we take the best D-tackle, D-end available. What do you think about that? Or
just take a defensive tackle at 6 and not worry about the cornerback position, because if you were smart and Gardner Johnson has a very good season, you would offer him a Darius Slay type deal, 4 years, $72 million, or 5 years, $82 million, and you would keep him. Along with Cam Sutton on a very friendly deal. And you can move off Okudah and move off all these guys and let Emmanuel Mosley go get paid somewhere else. And he can go bring another 1-year free agent veteran. And you can draft one in the 2nd round or 3rd round. I'm in no rush. Really? None of you have seen the Amish video? They build like a whole barn in one day, dude. It's insane.
I have not seen it, so I really wouldn't know.
I don't know if I saw it on Family Guy or Twitter. It was one of the two.
It was probably Family Guy.
Yeah,
if it's Family Guy, I've seen that one.
I'm pretty sure it's real, though. I'm pretty sure that's based on true events.
They're built different. Hoof Hearted says Jeff goes...
You guys ever see those... what is it? Go ahead.
Hoof Hearted says Jeff goes to Amish country to smash.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
Why?
Because he shows
them... don't. Whatever you're about to say, don't do it. Do not do it.
Adam, would you dress up like an Amish? Absolutely, I would.
I think...
I would fit in. They would love me.
You could pull it off.
They would love me. They would let me marry 7 of their daughters day one, 100%. And all I'd have to do is what? I don't know how to get married in Amish country, actually. How do you do it? Do you have to, like, go up to the dad like a normal person would, or do you have to, like, offer a goat or something? Anybody? Nobody knows? It's very stereotypical.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what you'd have to offer up. I think you could pull it off, though.
I'm pretty sure I could, honestly.
Look at Noah says Jeff churns that butter in Amish country.
Harry Bush is down in Amish country. You're damn right.
Jesus.
You're damn right.
Jay Sims says Carter at 6, Beydoun at 18.
Bijan's going top 12.
I think the best fit for him is the Eagles. Like, I think the Eagles makes the most sense. I don't think if you're an Eagles fan and you look at who they just picked up, who's the running back from Seattle they just signed?
Rashad Penny?
Yes, Rashad Penny. That ain't your RB1. I mean, like, come on. Let's be real. I like Rashad Penny a lot. Torch the Lions this year. They're going to have to add another running back. I think Beydoun makes the most sense.
All right. Well, look, let's have some fun, all right? Let's take a break. When we get back, let's have some fun with the questions this morning. Mailbag. Jeff and I will be right back with Mailbag, get some questions ready for us, and we'll be right back. But before we go, I got to tell you about Cousins Maine Lobster. Scan the QR code that you see on the screen. What are you waiting for? Find out where their food trucks are. Try them out. It's a beautiful day outside. There's no better time to treat yourself to some lobster tacos, clam chowder soup. I will always say it's my 2 favorite dishes they got. Fresh and delicious. Cousins Maine Lobster.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-FIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
We're back. Morning Woodward Show.
Great countdown.
What are you looking at with your Twitter?
Dude,
this guy's...
It's not Twitter. It's not Twitter.
Technically, Alex did
Alex,
give
you talk like a bitch. I can't even hear you half the time, all right?
Jesus.
Start listening.
Yeah, what are you going to do? We're back. WoodwardSports.com live. The Morning Woodward Show. Let's have some fun. Mailbag, why does everyone assume the GMA above the Lions in the draft will make the right choices? GMs have made poor decisions in the past and will continue. I think he meant GMs in the first sentence. Kevin, because 3 of the 5 picks I think we can all guarantee are going to be quarterbacks, right? So we know 3 quarterbacks are going to be off the board, which leaves Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson, and Jalen Carter likely to be selected between the other 2 before the Lions. So you're going to have the option of one of the 3. And I don't hate the idea of taking an edge like a Tyree Wilson. I just don't hate it. You can never have enough edge rushers, enough interior linemen. So I don't hate it. But who knows? What will you guys do when the Tigers suck this summer? Well, Jack, I don't have to go down there and protest, at least, for Al Avila to get fired. So there's that. I'll go to the ballpark, even if they suck. You know, I like going once, twice a summer, go to the ballpark, drink some beer, grab a hot dog, enjoy a summer day.
Well, your problem was Avila, not the Tigers.
Yeah, no,
like,
that fat
you're
fuck.
excited for Scott Harris and what they're building.
Oh, yeah,
so
no, I think
that
he'll do
stuff's
good.
over with.
I think he'll do good. We'll see, man.
Steven Westbrook says, what happened to doing the mock drafts for other NFC North teams? We'll probably do that next week.
Yeah, man, you know what? How about we do that Monday? No.
We do our mock draft Mondays.
We do our mocks.
We'll do
Wednesday.
it sometime next week, yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday next week.
I think that'd be
It's a guarantee. Let's see what else we got going on. Resign Chark or trade for Sutton? I'd say resign Chark. You would agree?
Yeah. Julian Hampton, I've seen a couple of these questions too. If Bryce Young drops the 3 and Detroit trades up to grab him and finds a way to grab Mozzie Smith, would you love or hate that move?
Say it again.
If Bryce Young drops the 3 and Detroit trades up to get him, which I agree with you, he won't. But you get Bryce Young and you get Mozzie late in the draft. Would you hate or love
What's
that
the
move?
late in the draft? Second round?
Probably something like that, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he's projected to go in the first round,
I shouldn't
right?
say late,
End of
but
first round,
if
early
you ended the
second?
draft and you got those 2 players specifically.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
To answer any questions
Bryce
regarding
Young's
Bryce
not
Young,
going past Houston. It's not happening.
And if Bryce Young falls, you know how many teams are going to call Arizona begging?
Yeah, and
try
do you
want to
give up 6, 18, and a future one to move up 3 spots? Because that's what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Again, Jared Goff's the quarterback. He's the quarterback this year and next year, and I expect him to be the quarterback for an additional year or 2, depending on when Brad Holmes falls in love with a quarterback. How do y'all feel about us drafting Noah Sewell? I mean, that's been a name that's been associated with the Lions ever since we drafted Panay, so for me, it's whatever. I'm not overly excited about it. It doesn't mean anything to me. Let's see. Deion Henley in the second round. He's a beast. If I had my choice between Henley and Campbell, I'm taking Jack Campbell.
Absolutely.
That's where I side on that. Let's see. Adam, are you going to break out the draft the cocaine suit? I don't know. I want to have fun this year. Last year, I felt I had to be a complete narcissistic asshole to convince you fucking idiots, and not all of you, but you know who you are. You're at home getting offended right now, like you usually do. That Malik Willis and Kyle Hamilton were not the picks for the Lions at 2. So that's why last year happened the way it did. This year, I'm chilling. I got Brad Holmes operating. Defense looking a lot better. Addressed the secondary. Before he addressed it all, to be honest, I think we were all on the same page anyways, which was lineman and corner in the first round. Cool. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Jeff, what do you got?
Mailbag. Hat and Beard says, expanding on last week's question regarding charcoal versus gas, Adam, have you ever tried the charcoal with the smoker chips built in?
Of course.
It's
What
fire.
about the pellets? I mean, come on. There's levels to this game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Adam's cooking up on the grill. God says, wow, that's an interesting name. God. Have we forgot about James the Problem Houston? No.
No, it's just, what do you expect out of him this year, honestly?
8 sacks
He was
in
really
8
good
games or
last
whatever it
year
was. Yeah.
in that stretch of games. It was fun to watch. Can he refine his skill set?
And is he
a three-down lineman?
Yes.
No. Is he a obvious passing down situational first and third and long situations, third and medium? Yeah. Do I think he'll be good this year? I hope so. To me, I think we should be talking more about Josh Pascal and is he going to live up? Because Brad Holmes has missed in the second round. And you're going to want to see picks 48 and 55 hopefully develop into something this year. All right.
Justin says, Mailbag, Jeff kind of looks like Orlando Bloom.
I don't hate that comparison.
I mean,
I don't hate that.
thank you.
I don't hate that. No, it's a compliment, dude. That means you fuck. You should be proud of yourself.
Noah M says, what are your guys' favorite non-chain restaurants in the D?
Non-chain restaurants?
That's a tough one. Non-chain restaurants? What about you, JB? You got one off the top of your head?
Is Bakersfield a chain restaurant?
I don't know.
In Detroit, downtown? Bakersfield is awesome. Big fan of Bakersfield. Mexican spot. Delicious.
I can't think of one. I have them. I just now to answer the question. I'm on the spot. Jesse asks, Mailbag Jeff, are you going to watch the UFC fight Saturday and then go out and try to crush in Royal Oak? Okay.
Probably.
Will I watch the UFC fights? Probably, but I will be home watching the UFC fights. That is what I'm doing.
All right, what else we got in here? Mailbag, you all ready for this kid? Nope. Nope. We're going to figure it out, though. We're going to figure it out. I got to raise my kid. Hopefully he'll be the first dictator in the history of the United States. We'll see. Maybe I'll be alive to witness that. Who knows? What is the best place to drink and pick up Jeff-worthy women? Jeff? Fifth Ave?
No, dude. I don't know. That's not my thing. I don't do it. So I'm not the one to ask. That's JB. I don't know. JB, Alex.
You can just say B-dubs, man.
What?
You can just say B-dubs. That's where you go.
That's where we hang out. Yeah, me and JB, we're simple
You guys
men.
pick up women at beat-ups? How?
No, we don't.
Half the women there are
it's not
freaking
even,
hippos.
No,
I mean, what do we?
It's not about picking up women at beat-ups. It's just what we do. We go watch the fights at beat-ups. We hang out with everyone from Woodward Sports.
You guys see that hippo on Twitter yesterday? The one screaming, "He assaulted me! He assaulted me! I was assaulted!" You guys didn't see that video?
I think I've heard of that video. I haven't seen it.
Elgato says single moms at B-dubs.
Hey.
Sure.
Hey, don't.
Sure, I'll pass. Where will the draft be streamed this year? Again, details to be determined.
I'm excited.
We'll get to that. Adam,
can't
you're going to see
wait.
John Wick 4. We'll see if I have time this weekend. I got a busy weekend. I have a lot of reporting to catch up on. I don't got time for anything this weekend, to be honest. And I have to do that festival thing at night. So it's going to be a long weekend. Would you rather have Carter or Will Levis? Jalen Carter any day of the week. What were you laughing at?
Just these comments.
Read it.
These comments are just funny. Noah says, Jeff doesn't find women. Women find Jeff.
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Dude, it's not even close.
These are funny,
Jeff
man.
sits at his table, and women sneak under and unzip his pants without him even asking. You kidding me?
What the hell, man?
I was even tempted to do it when we went out. That's the aura Jeff walks around with.
No, it's not.
What method of execution needs to come back? I say the guillotine.
By the way,
I'm all for the firing squad. I think if you kill someone, their family should be able to line up and just shoot you down, man.
No.
Honestly. No?
How?
I'm just saying.
How do we get to this?
Save taxpayer dollars. Don't make them go 10 years into the whole, like,
What?
oh, are we going to kill him or not? Fuck him. Right? It's a bit aggressive on my end. I'm sorry.
I swear to God, by the way, this is why I love our morning Woodward Show audience, because I feel like the stuff they have to endure when you say these things.
I'm just saying.
It's just kind of like, it is
Look,
what it
as
is.
somebody that's lost a relative to murder, all right? I'm just saying, I know my uncles and aunts and my mom wouldn't mind lining up on a firing squad and killing somebody or somebody's.
All right, we got to go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Not for everything. But if you murder somebody...
we got to go. We got to go.
I should be able to get out of the Abram tank and fucking go to work. I'm just saying. We spend enough money on stupid shit in this country. Why not? Save some taxpayer money. Anyways.
Yeah, we got to go.
Moving on. Guillotine is a vibe. I agree, though. It's a
No,
great
it's not a
comment.
vibe.
Yeah, it is, man. You're standing over there. You have full control over somebody's life. You're wearing this black mask, this whole, like, fucking outfit. You're sitting over to this guy. Your dick's in his face. And you're just like, you're about to die. How do you feel? And then all you got to do is raise your hand, give the signal. Dude's head chops off. He fucking flips around
right. No,
like a fucking
we're
fish.
done.
It's
We're
great.
done here.
Public executions.
We're done here.
I'm all game for it.
Have a great weekend.
We're out of here. WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you like the video. We're out of here till Monday. You guys have a great weekend. Peace out.